1.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Tire face, a match of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gash, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still going.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love you strip. I'm okay.
You serious? And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now.
For the interview?
Yes. Let those good hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home.
You want the table for the food. You don't even want it. You want the table for the food.
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. This will be a spontaneous show today. This will be to discuss Canelo Alvarez and the fact that it seems like he's hit stardom. When you're getting this many views on, HBO, and it's only Kirkland. I know that there is a lot of viewers that stuck around because of the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, but you got to think when Mayweather-Pacquiao went off, they were already at 1 million, and it did an extra 1 million throughout the Canelo fight, peaking close to 2.3, man. I mean, that's big. That's a lot. Looks like he could carry us, man. I mean, it really does. We've got to be optimistic. I mean, the guy's fighting the guys we want him to fight. I mean, I know there's a lot of intangibles. I mean, I've been seeing it all up and down every forum and boxing groups that there are. He's not getting the credit that he deserves because of the opponent and because how long the opponent was out the ring. But I say, man, never mind that, man. I mean, here you got a kid that this many people are coming out to see. Imagine if this would have been like an NBC or CBS. I mean, if Thurman Guerrero could do 4.8, what would Canelo do on free TV? That's impressive, man. It's very impressive, and I think he could definitely take the torch, man. I believe he can. The numbers don't lie, and he's bringing them in. He's exciting because, everybody can try and discredit the win versus Kirkland, but at the end of the day, no one's done it that way. No one. I mean, give Ishida all the credit you want to give him. He still didn't make it look this way. That was an ass whooping, and those numbers are indication of that.
Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here's Jameson.
I mean, people could try to discredit Kirkland in this fight here, and I understand that, like, I guess, competitive standpoint. There's certain things that people saw that maybe others didn't see, but, I mean, there's one thing's for sure. Not a lot of people know who James Kirkland is, and James Kirkland had nothing to do with those numbers. The 24/7 did build it a little bit, but, I mean, Canelo won his first HBO first HBO telecast, pulls this type of numbers. I mean, we talked about this in length at the fight party, that the reason why I was most excited about Mayweather and Pacquiao is not only did I think it was number 1 and number 2 pound for pound fighting each other, regardless of who won that fight, how they won that fight, it's going to be passing the torch. And it's clear that Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin are in the crosshairs of each other, and it's only inevitable till that fight happens, because those are the two biggest drawers in our sport right now. And I can't wait, man. I mean, Canelo, I even like that Canelo lost to Mayweather, because it kind of gets away with this negative connotation that if you have a loss, you're not good. People are now finding they like Canelo's style. They like him as a person. And you could see it's not just the Mexican fan base. It's everyone. People that in my office that I go to work, did you see that little redhead kid beat that other guy up? And I'm just telling you, they know him by that little redhead kid, but that's how it starts. And to me, I hope Canelo Alvarez just keeps pushing forward with this and we get more and more of him, because I think he's great for the sport. He picks the fighters that we want, and I'm really excited that he pulled these type of numbers. I had no idea they would be anywhere near this, but I'm really glad that he did.
Yeah, this is totally shocking to me. I mean, again, you got to give a lot of credit to Mayweather Pacquiao bringing the people out. You know, I wonder what it would have been without Mayweather Pacquiao and just with the 24/7, but it doesn't even matter, because the fact of the matter is we're here, and we haven't seen these type of numbers on HBO since 2006 with Antonio Tarver versus Bernard Hopkins. So, dude, this is a big deal. Now, you said you're kind of happy that he already fought Mayweather because that's a way, and, you know, yada, yada, yada about people and the losses and, you know, him still being good, but they're promoting it the same way. They're totally using it. They're very smart. If you checked out the 24/7, they're like, and he's only lost to Floyd Mayweather, you know, and he was there too soon against Floyd Mayweather. So they're definitely using the loss to their advantage, but I don't want them rushed. I mean, you know, wow. Having all the extra free time now to like be online and seeing, I mean, people are very mean. I mean, they want Canelo and Floyd to fight Golovkin. Like, I don't get it. Is there nothing else for Canelo at 154, or is he destined to have to go to 160 and fight both Golovkin and Cotto?
Yeah, I think he's done at 154. There's really not much more for him to do, especially with the caliber of fighters that are there for him on his side of the fence. Moving up into the next division, I mean, now at this point, it shifts back over to HBO, saying they have the more talent on that side. I'm not eager to see Canelo in there with Triple G right now, just like it was with Floyd Mayweather. He's a little bit too early right now. So even if he gets past Cotto, I still want to see one or two good fights before I see this Golovkin fight, because as of right now, I got to think that Golovkin would just steamroll him. And I think that Canelo has a great chance of beating Cotto again, but Cotto's not a big middleweight. Even if you do beat him, it doesn't prove much for a lot of people. And we're all going to see that. You'll get the credit, I believe, but there will be the detractors that say, oh, well, he beat up a Sergio Martinez that had bum knees. He needs to get that lineal title, and then he needs to defend it against someone maybe like a David Lemieux, an Endam. I guess the list goes on. There's plenty of credible opponents. I mean, say Daniel Gill. If Daniel Gill does get past Cotto somehow and doesn't get robbed or whatever, and he actually gets past, I'm okay with Daniel Gill, Cotto, or Canelo, because this is what it means. A lot of people want to see Cotto and Canelo.
The better fight, I think, and the easier fight to make is David Lemieux and Canelo next. But that's if he's going to 160, though.
He's got to be. He's been at that 155 mark for a long time. So, I mean, you got to think eventually he's going to go up there. Maybe he gets a soft touch. Someone like Endam's going to give him issues, because we know he's going to have issues with boxers. So he's got to get in there with someone maybe, you know what? To be honest with you, if they gave me Gabriel Rosado again on HBO, I would not hate Canelo Gabriel Rosado.
But what about well, Austin Trout is with
Heyman.
He's with Heyman, and it wasn't an exciting fight, so why do that again? I mean, I just don't know if he's done at 154. I don't think so. I don't think Oscar is ready to put him up there and lose that weight advantage. I don't believe that. Listen, this is his last horse right here. He has to hold on to this kid until Joseph Diaz and Diego De La Hoya, until they become household names, and they're about two and a half, maybe 3 years away from that, unless they start stepping on the gas tremendously. I mean, not that they aren't. Again, Diego's already fighting. This is his second Leo Santa Cruz opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are going to pump the brakes on this, because it's not just us. It's everyone else. They all know that Gennady Golovkin right now is just a little bit too seasoned for Canelo, especially moving up in weight. So I think you're exactly right. That's why I said, at least after Cotto, if he gets past him, give him two or three fights. I'm not eager to rush this fight. I want to see it, but I'm not eager to rush the kid. He's 24 years old. By the time he gets there, Golovkin's going to be 36, 37 years old. He's going to be in his prime at 28. But let's be real, Golovkin, the way he doesn't get a lot of punishment taken to him. So he might be a younger fighter in the ring. You know what I mean? He might be not as, I guess, like a Floyd Mayweather, where 38 is just kind of a number. It doesn't mean that's how he reflects in the ring. Who knows? Maybe one of these guys get derailed, but I want to pump my brakes, and I'm not clamoring for a massive mega fight. I want the best fight possible at the best time. And if that means I have to wait a year, I have to wait a year.
And I just think that the onus is on Golovkin Cotto. I know that we already had our taste of Canelo calling out Cotto, but that's when he was at 154. Let's just be honest. After that, you know, he went on and he did his thing. He fought Martinez, and the fight now was even bigger. So then they tried to make it again. It didn't happen because Cotto, whatever, rumors about him and Mayweather rematch, but it was really The Rock. He pulled out. Again, the onus is on Golovkin to fight Cotto and Cotto to fight Golovkin, not really for Canelo. He's still an in-betweener right now. Is he going to go to 160? And he could definitely stay at 154. And again, there's danger up there. And this being the cash cow, I just don't see it. When they could still easily make a couple of fights that HBO, I think, in my opinion, would buy. Maybe a unification, a title shot with Cornelius Bundridge. Like people were saying, Demetrius Andrade, he's been on that air. If Canelo wanted to go that route, you know, damn, that's about it. Unless they find, and you know, unless, well, he's gonna have to move up. That's about it, really. There's really, Joshua Clottey, but I don't know.
We all know that they're gonna most likely, assuming Cotto gets past Gil, that's going to be most likely the fight I think is going to be in September. So with that said, I mean, I don't think he's just going to test the waters. If he beats Cotto, he's going to then have that title. We live in an era, though, right now where you could be a champion and not fight other champions. So I think that's something that they would do.
Yo, would they do Canelo Pacquiao at a Margarito type catch weight? Not 151, obviously, but like maybe 154, 153.
That I see that very hard to, I guess, imagine that happening. That's to me like Mayweather and Golovkin, where it could happen because whatever they meet. I don't think that needs to happen.
I mean, think about it. He fought Mayweather at 152.
Yeah, I guess I could see it.
And again, and if he loses to Pacquiao, so what? They still gonna love him.
I think losing to Pacquiao, especially after what we just saw of Floyd Mayweather, is going to be a complete different side of it.
See, that was the misconception that Pacquiao fans and Pacquiao himself and Freddie Roach and that team thought. They thought losing to Mayweather was going to be bad, so they decided to go this whole weird shoulder route. But who doesn't lose to Mayweather? How was it bad? It wasn't bad for Guerrero. It wasn't bad for Victor Ortiz. The dude got like 2 movies, Dances with the Stars, and still has a boxing career where he got knocked out by Collazo, and didn't he get paid like $750,000 to get knocked out by Collazo? I mean, that's a good career. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think so. I think differently.
You think differently? You think that if you lose to Pacquiao, even after what we just saw and all that good stuff, that you think that it'll be like, oh, well, he just lost to Pacquiao?
Yeah, well, look at Timothy Bradley. Look at Timothy Bradley. People still like to watch Timothy Bradley, and he lost twice to Pacquiao to the general fan.
I guess, but I mean, it's not like people are clamoring to see Tim Bradley get in there with Floyd Mayweather. I mean, your star does kind of drop a little bit when you these I guess perceived stars. So like, everyone just watched this 4.4 million, whatever, 5 million just watched the Floyd Mayweather fight, probably more obviously because there was big fight parties. We just saw what happened. We just saw Floyd Mayweather whitewash Manny Pacquiao. To me, the general public, these are the people that buy the pay-per-views more than we do. I don't think he'll get the credit that he would, like you would when you lose to Floyd Mayweather, and that's why I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see Pacquiao versus.
Look, I think it's the same as Pacquiao versus De La Hoya. Mayweather versus De La Hoya, Mayweather versus Canelo. It's the welterweight going up to fight the middleweight. I mean, what's wrong with the junior middleweight?
I doubt Canelo wants to dive down there, but I don't have a problem. I guess no. I'm going to put my foot down. I have a problem with it because I do think that Canelo is too big. He's a junior middleweight waiting to move up to middleweight. These other fighters you're talking about, they came from the smaller weight classes and they nested in that area. De La Hoya went up to middleweight, came back down, got weight drained, did whatever happened to him. But I mean, it's not we're fighting an older fighter here that's kind of fleeted and is kind of, taking a slide. We're talking about a fighter that's now moving up and moving up and moving up and only getting better as we keep seeing him. And he's fighting better competition too. So I don't think that I don't personally think that even beating Manny Pacquiao, I would give him credit and be like, yeah, you beat Manny Pacquiao. I think he's just too big. People are going to shit on me for this too, but I think that Golovkin's too big for Floyd Mayweather. I don't want to see that fight because if Golovkin wins, I don't want to have to shit on Floyd Mayweather for that. I want to have an even playing field fight, and to me, that's not what that is. I think Golovkin is, I think Canelo is just too big. I want to move on. I don't want to talk about Pacquiao with him because I just don't think it's a good fight.
All right. What was this weight? What did he come in right here? Because he doesn't look that bad. He looks like he can suck down a little some more right here. What do you think? What was this official weight for James Kirkland? And
I thought it was 155 again. And was it a junior middleweight though?
Well, then look again. Last look. Here's your last look at it real quick because it looks like he's not dry. His face doesn't look that bad, and I think he could get down. I think he could get down, especially to make some of that Pacquiao money. I mean, that's some money right there.
Yo, but pull up the Canelo when he has his little chap lips at the Floyd Mayweather fight when he's dehydrated and sucked in like we hadn't seen him before.
Yeah, but again, that was a bunch of camps ago. Now they're on that elite level. Look at them. These guys are going to Big Bear. They're relocating. They're buying houses to train. Now he's on his Julio Cesar Chavez shit, except he's dedicated. He's walking down the street and walking down the hall in his house to the gym. So I don't know. I think this is a focused Canelo, and he's got a lot of hype behind him right now. These are some serious numbers. Again, you gotta play both sides of the gate here. Like, how many of these were Mayweather Pacquiao residuals, things that just fell off, But again, the odd thing is that fight was doing $1 million. Then when Canelo came on, a whole nother $1 million just came out of nowhere. So that was impressive, man. Again, that was very impressive in my opinion. I mean, he's destined is what it looks like. And again, you forget, because I remember a couple of years ago, I was dogging this kid, but he's only 24. He's only 24.
Yeah, I mean, when he first came out, we all kind of did the same thing. I did the double take, like, oh my God, this is the kid that they're talking about from Mexico. And we all thought it was a joke. We thought it was a ploy. I saw it with the Alfonso Gomez fight. I was like, oh, that fight got stopped too soon. And then you see him with the Cotto, the other brother Cotto. He got rocked. I was just like, I didn't believe in him. Then I saw the Trout fight, and I didn't believe in him. Then I saw the Mayweather fight. I didn't believe him. The Lawler fight started making me a believer. And through going back, I realized that this kid is improving. The reason why I don't want him to go down anymore is because you imagine, it's not, I guess, my reason. The reason why I don't think he would go down to a 152 catch weight for any fight other than maybe Mayweather again. Imagine you're a fighter and you're struggling to make weight as is, and they keep saying, we're moving you up to middleweight. We're going to do 155. We're going to keep doing these fights here. You're going to pack muscle on. You're not going to take it down. You're not going to say, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Even though you're at a higher elite level, you're not worrying about losing that weight so much. Now to take a step back and say you're going to go back down to 152 for a catch weight, that's serious issues. But to go to your point about the broadcast saying, like, maybe it's residuals from the last Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. Didn't everyone say that fight was boring and boxing's dead? So to me, I mean, there might have been some people that actually enjoyed it, that tuned in, that might not have enjoyed it. But to me, this was Canelo. This was Canelo's star power. Maybe if the replay wasn't on right before it, it might have pulled in 1.8. But I think that the majority of what we're seeing here with this 2 million is Canelo and nothing else. And I guess that's my personal belief, and that's what I'm going to go with. So,
well, I mean, again, the kid has star power. 31,000 people were in Houston, Texas for this James Kirkland fight. And I just feel like at this point, he could do that in front of anybody. He could do that in front of anybody. And if he is going to move up, Lemieux's a good guy. That's a good fight because, as you went down your reasons why you didn't believe in him, I mean, they're all very similar. And the only thing that has changed for me, because I had Trout winning that fight. I had Laura winning that fight. And even in this Kirkland fight, Kirkland gave him some good pressure that gave showed me things of Canelo that I was like, okay, I want to see some more of that. But who can really do it? Almost all his fights have been intangibles. I mean, going way back to Matthew Hatton and Jose Cotto and, just all those names, Alfonso Gomez, all those guys, they were moving up to fight him in these weird catch weights from the very beginning. So the best of Canelo is yet to come. You know, that's for sure. I'm still not sold completely in terms of ability, but star power, entertainment value, and is he a draw? Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, if you want to talk about that David Lemieux fight, I mean, David Lemieux, they both have very similar fight styles. First off, they both gassed early and they both got major punches. So that, to me, that's not a win for Canelo, and that's why I want to see him move up, because a lot of the fighters that he was fighting before, they're fast. That you could see that they box well. Trout, Lara, anyone that you could give him a loss to, they boxed him, and that's where his real weakness is. And like you said, I'm not sold on Canelo. I don't think I ever will be, because I don't think that Canelo will ever be that kind of the elite fighter like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather is. But what he is doing is he's taking the throne by the thrust hole, or he's taking it by the horns, and he's saying the fans are behind me. And that's truly what does matter. If people want to watch you, it doesn't matter how good you are. If people want to watch you, that's all that really kind of does matter in the ratings, in the casual fan sense. People hate Mayweather. He's one of the best fighters that we've ever seen in boxing, whether you rate him top 100 or 10. It doesn't matter. He's still one of the best, but people find him boring. People don't find Canelo boring unless the fighter on the other side is boring to him. Put him in the right style matchup fights. That dude just goes through the roof and drives boxing through the roof. But I think there's plenty. I just don't think that he's going to eventually be where we want him to be or where he's perceived to be. But he's a great fighter. I like watching him, and I think he's going to have a long way to go. So
I agree. I need him to learn some more English. I know he's trying. I heard, on this last 24/7, he said a couple of things. One little one I remember. I think I clipped it too.
I want to make history in boxing, and I'm sure I will.
So he's trying. But his 24/7s would be a lot better if it wasn't so much translating. Even though I love, what is it, Lee Schreiber, something like that?
Lee Schreiber.
Yeah, I love him. Look, check him out, working on Ray Donovan for Showtime and doing HBO narrating. I mean, that's a guy going both ways right away. So that's a good look. But Canelo, man, he's a star, brother. He's a star. What's next, man? Because again, I don't believe they're going. I mean, obviously they're gonna wait around. See, does he wait around too? Because remember, he was on Showtime for 3 years. It's been 3 years anyway since he's been on HBO, and he came back and he's doing like 2.6, something like that. I mean, that's big, man. And they're invested in him. They gave him a 24/7 for a fight that had no pay-per-view, so that was good. I like that about HBO.
I think it's for sure Cotto. I think that's what they're going to try to negotiate next. Again, assuming he gets past Gil. If Gil beats Cotto, I mean, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't go after Gil too. So I think the winner of that fight is who they're going to go with. The problem is that when you see like a massive number like this with over 2 million people on regular TV, Canelo might not walk into the negotiating tables like he would have 2 weeks ago. Now it's not only that we know he has star power, he has monumental star power.
Yes.
Cotto doesn't pull those type of ratings on HBO.
No.
So the tide is shifting. It would have to be Canelo saying, whatever you want, I just want you. I don't know if that happens. And I know Cotto is not going to be backing down because he's going to be, I was pay-per-view. We know Cotto's going to Cotto.
See,
so
this is the problem that I have. Because this is where HBO should step in and make both guys happy. And I know that would happen elsewhere, That's the problem I have. This fight shouldn't go to pay-per-view. I mean, obviously it's going to be a pay-per-view, but what is it going to do? Like 1.2 maybe?
I think that's great. I mean, that's what's matching what Mayweather's doing right now against Robert Guerrero and stuff like that, and that's Mayweather.
I mean, I'm guessing 1.2. I'm figuring Cotto's 300 to 500, and Canelo takes the rest.
Yeah, that's a great educated guess. I mean, 1 to 1.5, but I mean, is that a fail to you? That's a win to me. I think it's a great number for both of those fighters to do something like that, especially because once Canelo gets on pay-per-view and he beats Cotto, he would then become a pay-per-view star himself.
The problem with that is it's a win, right? But look at what we're talking about. We're saying 1.2 being a success when he just did almost 2.3. You got to keep giving it free, man. Make the kid a franchise, because. Again, you don't have to go the fast route. You can let those guys kill himself, and he could take the guys like Ndam and the guys like Lemieux, and they build them. They got to build them. He still is only 24. You don't want to burn him out. Who else they got?
Is HBO going to dump that amount of money to cover those salaries and undercards though to get that going on pay-per-view? I mean, you got to think that Canelo's going to want probably 10 to 15. Cotto's going to want 10 to 15.
10 to 15 what million?
Yeah, maybe more, 20.
Canelo to fight Lemieux? Are you crazy?
No, not Lemieux. I was saying Cotto. If Cotto goes to pay-per-view with him.
Oh well, that's already big. That's already
type
big money. That's the problem. That's already big money. Canelo was already offering 10 million. So how do you go back from that?
Exactly. But yeah, I think you're right though.
That's why you avoid that shit. You avoid it. You let Cotto, go face Golovkin first, because regardless, Cotto Canelo is good before or after Golovkin. It all depends on how quick or bad Cotto looks. If he goes out quick, he could come back. If he doesn't look bad, he could come back, and still that Canelo fight is there. It's there, man. It's there. You don't got to rush Canelo.
It is, but I guess you're right, though, because, I mean, realistically, if you do want to build him, like you said, he's 24 years old. You don't want to get him on there. You also don't want to burn people out from having to pay money and watch him fight tomato cans. I'm always been a big firm believer that you do pay-per-views for the fight, not the fighter. And Cotto Canelo would be a pay-per-view fight. I don't care what you say.
I'm just seeing these numbers, and I'm seeing these numbers, and I'm thinking like a promoter. I'm saying to myself, why kill him? Why? Exactly. I mean, HBO will buy. They will definitely buy K9 versus Canelo.
Hell yeah, they will. And he might not do that, but he'll do some astronomical numbers that are better than anyone else right now. I mean, what's this? The other highest, 1.8 for Klitschko. I mean, that's Klitschko. So who? That's a heavyweight championship. Of the world.
I wonder how much. We're gonna have to get either Kevin Flaherty or the big guy himself, Hirschman, on one day and find out like how much does the 24/7 affect the production? Like, are they able to always front that money for the 24/7? Because I think that every fight Canelo has deserves it. They got to keep giving them, feeding them to the public.
I would also like to know what the percentages is of like, I guess pay 24/7s to pay-per-view fights or regular fights. See what the decline is if that doesn't happen. Because personally, like you, me, everyone, we always talk. We love these 24/7s. So does the casual fan. I mean, my girl loves watching 24/7 more than the actual fight itself because it's so epic. It gets people hyped, and you're right. Those need to happen, and it needs to stop being the one. It needs to be the double. They need to give us the doubles again for the 2 weeks leading up to the fight and really build the brand. Because oh man, I couldn't even imagine what a Cotto Canelo 24/7 would be like if we got two of them, and then a Golovkin Canelo. Oh my God, that'd be just smiles everywhere and shit talk.
Has it always only been two? I mean, I thought I missed one. I kept searching and searching. Was it only one for Canelo Kirkland?
There's been a few times it's only been one. There was like one Tim Bradley and Marquez one.
Which one was the one that was the most?
What do you
episodes? Mean? The most episodes, like Canelo. I mean, obviously Oscar versus Mayweather was the first one. So that one had how many? 3 episodes?
Yeah, I think 3 again was the biggest one. I think it was. Well, who was it? I don't know. I can't think of it right now.
I would imagine it was that one. That was the first one, right?
Yeah, but I'm almost positive there's been at least one that had 3 of them. I can't remember. I know I've seen so many of these. I think Pacquiao had one that had 3.
Well, they need to go back to more than one. I mean, I thought I missed one or something. And look, now you're telling me it was only one. That's horrible. That's because you got to look at it this way, right? PBC, they're doing at least one for every fight. They're doing at least one. Spike TV and they're doing one. So damn, HBO got to step it up. They got to match it, man, because they have a smaller network now. Now they're the 30 millions going up against the 127 million. You know what I mean? And Spike is in what, 92 million or something like that.
You bring up a good point though. Now with PBC doing a lot of, I guess you could say, bigger fights on NBC for free. Does that then deter networks to want to go to pay-per-view? Because then you could take a huge cut. Do they keep doing the free TV thing because that's the trend in boxing? What do you think?
Well, listen, man, the rumor, I don't know. Let's see how good this one is. The rumor is that that last Mayweather fight might be on CBS, man.
Damn. If it's someone like Khan, I wouldn't mind that at all because I don't want to have to pay for something like that. So, I mean, that'd be big. That'd be major. So
I know. But again, he's doing his thing, but Canelo definitely this is star power. I mean, what is Mayweather thinking now? I mean, do we go right into a Mayweather Canelo rematch?
Yo, I was thinking about that earlier today, but they're on the other side of the fence.
It's HBO. Now. It's not big enough. It's not big enough. Well, I mean, who's to say, man, right? Look, no one expected 2.2. No one expected 2.2 for that first Mayweather Canelo fight.
I'd have to assume that it would almost have to be again another TMT type or or a Mayweather Promotions type takeover because they're gonna have to do most of the bill and Top Rank it would be Golden Boy actually.
But I think that Mayweather understands what Canelo is and also has proven that working with Canelo isn't a problem. Out of an 11-city tour, they did 10 cities, man. They did 10 cities with Canelo.
I know it would be big, but if I'm Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, and HBO, I move the fuck on from Mayweather and just build him by himself.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. It is less headache, but man, if you're Canelo, you go for it right now. The iron is hot. You're doing those big numbers. Could you imagine? I mean, maybe he gets in one more fight. And that'll shake things up for Cotto.
Here's your dream scenario. He goes in, snatches the Cotto title. Floyd Mayweather fights Amir Khan at the end of the year. Comes back next year, takes the middleweight title from Canelo.
Impossible because of the Cotto fight being in June. When would Canelo Cotto happen?
No, I'm saying like in September. Have Floyd fight whoever he wants to fight in September. Have Cotto and Canelo fight.
But it's gotta be Floyd's last fight, unless you're gonna wait for Floyd to fight whoever.
He'll come back. You don't think he's gonna try to break that Marciano record? He could say all he wants. That he's such a lying sack of shit. He knows he's gonna try to break that.
I hope he does, man. I hope he does. Listen, I think that he has options. I don't know how easy a Kell Brook fight is, but again, watching him do what he did to every other person, snatch up a little Kell Brook title. Because I would leave Khan. Because now when you're a free agent and you're on NBC or CBS, because you're not with no network, now you can do other things. So I would leave Khan because I think Khan, he's still a good fight, man. People want to see that. There's actually like Mayweather ducking Khan groups out there and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. So but you got to let that build. There's really nothing there. You got to Canelo has again. If Canelo puts at least the seed out there, James, then Cotto decides what's he gonna do. Because let's be honest, when do we start saying he's ducking Canelo? This is the second negotiation, right?
Absolutely. I thought I guess it's the word on the street is that if he gets past Gil, Cotto has to fight Canelo. But let's be real. Cotto could always pull a Cotto. Doesn't matter. You can have HBO ties. He could pull his ass over to Showtime and see how it goes there. But, I think he's almost forced at this point to fight Canelo. And why not? Canelo isn't the best fighter like we just talked about. He still is young and he's still learning. So if you're going to do it and you're Cotto, I think even Freddie Roach says he takes that fight. So I think that's the way you go with it. I don't see Cotto backing down from this, and I think that's a great fight.
I think they're wrong in the chat. I don't think Khan messed up by fighting Algieri. I think if Khan looks good beating Algieri, he did himself a favor because Algieri was a well-spoken person that fought Pacquiao. People remember him. Believe me, they remember him.
And also, like you used to say, if Khan goes in there and knocks out Chris Algieri, which he very well could be, you're going to be like, oh, well, he fought Pacquiao just fought him. Look how he did against Mayweather. It's not going to get any worse. Not going to get any worse than what we saw. But, let me ask you, do these numbers change who get that September date, though? Because I know he always wants those Mexican holidays back. We only got maybe 2 Floyd Mayweather fights left. Does he get bounced from those now?
Well, that makes it even more better. That even makes it better for him to go for Mayweather on September. But I don't know. I don't know if you're Oscar. Do you want to rock the boat right now, man?
I say rock the shit out of that boat. Let him go. Let him fight Khan on that same day in September. I bet you Canelo still pulls in $2-something million if he fights Cotto. Put Cotto on free TV, match it up against fucking Mayweather and Khan. Mayweather would get 300,000, maybe.
I don't know. Let's open up these phone lines. Let's see what the people think here. We're going to go to our first caller from the 518. You're live. Who's this? Where you calling from?
So it's Antonio from Albany. What's up, man?
Antonio, what up?
So first off, I just want to say that, I know during the interview, Canelo said, Mayweather rematch interests him, and so does the Pacquiao fight, but it's never going to be below 154. And we already know Canelo's not going to have Pacquiao and Mayweather trying to take advantage of that weight class, so that's not the picture of fighting.
Hey, I don't know because if you're Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Jr. and you've seen what you did to him at 152, I don't think there's no difference. You could do the same thing at 154. Yes, you can. And with
But
the numbers
Canelo's not
Canelo's
gonna-
pulling now, I
My
mean,
fault.
it's in his best interest with these numbers. But again, the biggest problem is that HBO Showtime stuff, man. James is right. It's probably not worth the headache to those people.
Yeah, and then also, if Canelo and Cotto happens down the road, man, to be honest with you, man, I see that fight, really, having issues trying to get made. Like Canelo and Cotto, man, they're like, to be honest with you, man, they're both divas, man. They want to take advantage of everything when it comes to them fighting, So, Cotto's gonna, come up with these stupid, try to take advantage of Canelo. Canelo's gonna try to do the same exact thing. I feel like it's gonna be an issue making that fight happen. And at the same time, I feel like if it doesn't happen, Canelo's gonna fight another top contender around that 154, 160 division. I don't think he's gonna fight, anywhere less than 155. He wants to stay at that weight division around there. So, maybe later on, the Canelo fight happens and the GGG fight happens, but I don't see Canelo moving down anytime, like anywhere. Moving forward, I don't even see him fighting anywhere below 154. As far as that, that's sad. Real quick, man, I just want to, before I go, I just want to say, man, real talk, man, the last thing I said when I called in was Pacquiao might fight Kell Brook later on this year, and Floyd might fight another top contender, man. Come on, man. Pacquiao's going to continue fighting, and so is Floyd. And I don't think they're going to downgrade their opponents. I think they're going to fight top quality opponents in the next fight. And I just see, like I said, man, if these two fighters are great, they'll fight again. Why not? I'll buy another rematch. Why not? But other than that, man, Canelo Cotto, it's the fight that needs to happen this year. If it doesn't happen, then it can happen early next year. But that's that, man.
All right. Damn, he wants it next, James.
I don't want that next. I think Pacquiao, just like everyone else that gets in there with Floyd and gets whitewashed, needs to rebuild. And if he wants to get it again, rebuild yourself.
All right. Well, let's keep going to these phone lines.
Hold up, son. Word. Yeah. To all the killers and $100, I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers.
Yeah, what up, Ness James? What's going on, y'all? Everybody, man. Yo, that's a good look, though, man. That 2.2 million, man, views, man. Yo, that's by, like, other than that, I know Mayweather, but you're right. I really don't want Canelo. I want them to slow drag him, man. You're right. He's only 24 years old. But De La Hoya keeps saying that, we want the best fights and all that. But I just think it's time, like, far as, like, I don't want Canelo to fight Triple G or none of them, man. Not just yet. You know what I'm saying? They can slow drag. He's still going to get views because everybody loves him, like, in Texas and all that. He's still going to do good, even if they just slow drag him, man. And, they should take their time with him, man. But De La Hoya fought the best. You know how it is. They pride being away, and they just might make him fight and all that. But Mayweather, he said he was giving up his belts and all that. So he might just fight. He ain't fighting nobody in September that was worth something. He not going to do that. And he definitely ain't going to fight no. And Canelo, I don't think Canelo should stay away from Mayweather. Mayweather's a boring fighter. He's going to make it look easy, run around and pop shot him and all that. And Canelo still got stamina problems, man, where he should address that. He's young. When he was 24 years old, Ness, that kid is young, man. The talented like that, I give him 2 more years, he'd be ready for everybody, man. That's just my take on that, man. I'm just going to listen, man. But I'm proud of Canelo, man. We need him. We need him like that to stay away from Triple G, though, for real. He could beat Cotto.
All right, QB, thanks for calling in. Yo, it's funny. He says stay away from Triple G, and he's right, man. 24, no reason to fight Triple G. Let that shit build up. And if you're talking about pay-per-view numbers, let that build up. You might as well take that fight when they're going to pay you the most money for it, because that's a tough fight to get over. And you never know. Like QB said, look, and that's funny because he picked Kirkland. So like QB said, in 2 years, maybe he's better because he is talented. I mean, the rhythm on that boy. One of our callers said it best. Is like, like he's black. The way he moves in that ring. I just want to see him take a little bit, take that pressure a little better. And you definitely want to see him, go through at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds of Lemieux's toughest pressure and then flatten Lemieux and say, okay, maybe he's ready for Triple G, because Triple G is Lemieux on steroids plus way better, just way better. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving along. I mean, what do you think?
No, I completely agree, man. I hope everyone comes out like sounding like Wood, man, because the only problem is that, like, if Canelo was doing the same thing, but he maybe wasn't like a little redheaded white Mexican looking dude, and he didn't have the star power, people probably wouldn't be clamoring. They'd be saying the same thing. They'd be like, oh, he's not quite ready for Triple G. I mean, when Danny Garcia was running through the gauntlet down at 140, it wasn't like every time Mayweather got talked about a question, he had to field a question about Danny Garcia. That's what's going on, though. If you watch a lot of these Triple G fights, it's all about Canelo. It's all about Cotto. It's about no one else other than those two. So I'm hoping the pressure doesn't build where they get forced into a fight. I wish everyone would be like Wood and like us, where we're saying, just pump the brakes.
Well,
I'd rather the fight at the right time. Oh, QB, not Wood. Sorry, QB. But I'd rather wait, like I said, and wait for the right time, because if I want Canelo to get in there, I guess, like everyone else, I'm tired of seeing Golovkin go in there with opponents we know are going to blow out. I want to build it. I want to get in there. And if we're going to get Canelo in there, give me the best Canelo against the best Triple G.
Well, the chat is saying Rubio, TKO, Lemieux. So basically, why? And, I guess they want to throw him in the gauntlet. But again, man, I don't know. I'm looking at him like a gem. 24-year-old kid, man, you could squeeze years out of him. You can squeeze years in business out of him. 813, you're up.
Hey, what's up? This is Randall from Tampa.
Randall, talk to us.
Hey, phone hung up on me the other night. I was on, but I want to eat my crow for the Kirkland pick. Hello?
And that fight was in Texas, so that's like that Texas size crow.
Girl like Ray Lewis in the ring, man. Man, that dude was twirling all around and shit. But like, I want to talk about Canelo. Like, he is a good fighter. HBO, they setting a bad precedent. They did this with Turo Gotti back in the day, matching him up with certain type of people. He got that name and that star power. And I'm not saying he need to fight Triple G, but you can't just pump the brakes and just slow down. He's a cash cow, and he got a target on him. So he got to somewhat defend his status. He can't just get all these.
If he wants some of Triple G, Randall, if he wants some of Triple G, he going to have to get down to 154.
No. I said I'm not telling him to fight Triple G. I think that's a bad move. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Things happen in the boxing ring. You got a $10 million Cotto fight sitting right there. Win or lose, you still will be a star fighting Cotto. You know what I'm saying? He could fuck around and fight somebody who's a lesser person and lose. You know what I'm saying? So if you got that money sitting right there, he need to go ahead and get that money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still other good fights for him after a Cotto fight, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the fight is already made. He should take that fight. And Cotto should offer that fight. It's for both of them. I think, honestly, I know Cotto got the lineal title. He need to just dump that title because he ain't finna fight Triple G. Let Triple G get that title, and he could fight a money fight. Canelo ain't fighting at a weight class. He making up his own weight class. Cotto, they could meet somewhere in the middle and fight for just a purse. You know what I'm saying? It's cash. It's prize fighting. They can fight for a purse, and you know what I'm saying? Just leave the title alone because that's what Canelo been doing anyway. So, I don't see the title being a big deal in making that fight.
Yeah, I guess, Randall. I don't know. I'm going to stick to not wanting to rush him, but let me get to some other people here. 404, you're up.
Ness, where's my intro, man? You didn't strap me up, baby. You didn't strap me up.
I did. I got you. Hold up. Where we at?
Come on, man. Let me hear it, baby. Strap me up.
Strap me up. You heard it?
Yeah. I love it. Love it. Hey man, so Canelo, I've been saying Canelo was gonna beat this dude 2-3 years ago, man. When nobody liked Canelo, I was one of the few dudes that saw something in this kid, man. So I'm glad he's doing these kind of numbers. The only thing is, man, his Achilles heel is going to be the English barrier. If he wants to take it to that next level, he's going to have to learn English fluently. So they need to get his ass on Rosetta Stone like ASAP. Also, this may sound a little crazy, but does anybody think that Floyd and the money team might have paid Canelo a little lay down money for that fight they had, man? Am I the only guy that thinks this?
Hell yeah. You're alone you're alone on that island.
Huh?
You're alone on that island, bro. Listen, Canelo is too prideful. He ain't taking no money to lay down. He wouldn't do that.
Man, just think about the pitch, though, man. Canelo, you're what, 22, 23.
Nah,
just
man.
take extra $5 million off the books.
The fight didn't even
listen.
The fight didn't even look that way. No way. Oh my God.
But that's the craziest thing, man. Up until that point, Canelo had never looked like that, man. I gave Canelo maybe 1 or 2 rounds, man.
Hey, man, up until that point, Pacquiao ain't never looked like that. Up until that point, Guerrero ain't never looked like that.
Pac ain't taking that shit no more though.
The only one that didn't look outside of his element was Maidana because he imposed his will. But even in that second fight, he ain't look like that, and so on and so forth. Shane Mosley ain't never looked like that. What you mean? He been doing the same thing to everybody.
You know I can tell the future in this, and I just think it's some shit that's a little suspicious with that. But moving on, real quick. I don't want to see Floyd fight Triple G. That shit is crazy. Floyd and his team have already said they ain't taking no more hard fights. These last 2 fights are going to be pretty much some softball. So we can.
They should be. Pacquiao got Algieri, right? Where's Floyd's Algieri at?
That's what I'm saying.
Malignaggi needs to beat Danny O'Connor, and then Floyd go out with Malignaggi.
I would love to see the Magic Man get a payday, man. I would love that shit. I would watch it. Fuck it. And the last thing is,
people gonna kill me.
I've been wanting y'all to do this. I've been wanting y'all to do this for a while. Do a spontaneous show, and on that spontaneous show, I just want to talk about fantasy fights. No current events. I just want to talk about who would have kicked who's
fantasy fights. I remember. That's all I remember. You always want to do Yo, those are the I don't appreciate them. I'm sorry, I don't, because I want to actually see the fight. I want to actually see the fight. All right, well, you got to get more. All right, you got to get more than just you that wants a show based on that. You know that.
I got it. I got it. I'm about to go put in this work. Don't worry about that. I got you on that.
All right, then, brother. The milkman, baby, he's out. 636, you're up.
Yo, what up, man? This is Entertainer. What's poppin'?
And what up?
Man, that dude Canelo is so special, man. That's all I can say. His jab, just his overall intelligence. Like he told everybody in the beginning, he was going to use incredible intelligence in the ring versus Kirkland. That would be the difference in the fight. It really showed. I think he was a little surprised, though, by Kirkland coming at him so aggressive, like a beast, like a monster. But once he tamed that beast and he got his rhythm down, like you guys were saying earlier, he made it look so easy to me. Maybe to everybody else, it looked like, oh, my God, it was such a tough fight. But at the same time, he was parrying a lot of those shots. A lot of people thought he was getting hit clean. He really wasn't. He was parrying a lot of those shots or making them miss and then making them pay. Like with that right uppercut, I knew something else was about to come behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just special. He's one of those guys that, I don't know, I just see his skills being elite. A lot of people say he still needs to grow, but how much more can you grow? I mean, what do you want him to do? Throw pony punch combination like Pacquiao? I mean, what do you really want to see from him besides maybe box a little bit more? Like, use his feet laterally or whatever. But otherwise, I see him being special. I want to see Triple G versus him probably in May.
I think you're wrong, and I think there's still a lot that needs to be done, especially with that stamina. He needs to be able to fight. I mean, he needs. Look, Floyd.
I mean,
you guys
he's a
say he
big boy
runs,
though,
but then
Ness, you know what I'm saying? He's a big guy
rounds.
though. You know what I mean? Like, how much stamina can he?
Well,
I don't know.
It's either that or more power. He's gonna have to start knocking guys out then.
True.
Because what happens?
I mean, he got the power. Though. I mean, it seems like he tries to wait though for that perfect punch. So I see what you're saying. You basically saying he needs to load up more, but be more intelligent on how he loads up on his shots instead of just, waiting for that perfect opportunity, that perfect shot or something like that. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying he needs to work on stamina, because what happens when he got to go 12 with a good fighter? With a good fighter,
solid fighter, right? Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
one thing before I go, Willie Monroe. This week, even though I know we're supposed to be staying on topic with, I'm just saying Willie Monroe, I really do believe he can outbox Triple G. Now, we're going to see if he can take his power. I don't think he can, but if he can stay out of getting hit extremely clean, he could outbox Triple G and shock everybody. I just wanted to throw that out there. But go ahead, Ness. Great show.
All right, brother. Well, I'll tell you this. They say he's an 80-1, so you better call someone to put some money down for him.
That's like saying Khan is like the greatest fighter ever if it wasn't for his chin. Unfortunately, that chin is what it is, and it's gonna be what it is.
Absolutely, man. I don't know, man. The boy Canelo needs to work on that. Imagine if like Cotto just came at Canelo like, the way, I don't know, that he did Rodriguez. And he could do that for 12 rounds. Then what does Canelo do on those, times when he takes a break? We need to see him, build that stamina, I believe. Anyway.
We got to see if the weight increase does do that, because there's a lot that if he's training for fat camp, that could take away from his stamina in the ring. But the problem is too is that you're looking up ahead. You're looking at the Cottos, you're looking at the Canelos, you're looking at the David Lemieux. All these guys are body punchers. They're all people that are going to get in there and they're going to rip that body. And that's only going to take your cardio down. I mean, there's not many people that attack Canelo's body. He's always coming forward. There's not many people that do that. All these other fighters will do that. So I guess before I say he doesn't have stamina at 160, I got to see him there first. But like you said, man, it's a big issue, because I thought that he was noticeably gassed in the third. He might not have been gassed, but he was noticeably gassed. And he was taking time off where I thought he was trying to recoup. But with that type of pressure, I don't blame him. But like I said, we got to see where he goes from 160 and see how he makes the weight.
Yeah, man. They're saying in the chat he went 12 with Laura. Man, he went 12 with Trout too, but neither of them guys pushed him to fight. I mean, Trout, when he wanted to take a break with Laura, he just had to stop chasing him. It was too easy. 951, you're up.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's el compa de Los Ángeles.
Compa, what up?
Hey, I was just calling because I don't really want to see that Triple G Canelo fight. I'm with you guys. I think it has to boil up, give it a few years. I don't think Canelo's ready. I think Triple G will probably take him out if they were to fight pretty soon. And what else were we talking about?
Just his star power, his pay-per-view numbers, his options. Possibility rematch with Mayweather. What do you think about that? Or does he go for Cotto? Does he go to slow route?
You know what? I would actually I would have loved to see the Mayweather fight this year instead of in 2013, because I think he would have been more prepared this year than he was. But I wouldn't mind that Lemieux fight. Who else? Cotto. I want to see that one. That Cotto, and that's pretty much it. Viva Canelo, cabrones.
Awesome. I'm going to have to go back and clip that.
Canelo.
Oh, he wasn't done. Go about.
Oh, now I'll do and say, Viva Canelo, Viva Mexico.
All right. I'm going to have to clip that one for sure. Oh, man, I'm going to take this chance. I don't know if this 773 is the fight. I'm not even doing it for Fight Doctor, man. He called from too many numbers. He did it to himself. 773, you're up.
Fight Doctor.
Oh, my God. You see that?
Of course.
Horrible, horrible. Of course, the day that I don't believe the number is his is him. What's up?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yo, somebody in the chat said talk about Jorge Paez Jr. You guys are nuts, man. Wait till you see him, yo. Benavidez better look special versus that dude.
That makes me nervous as hell too for it, because sometimes sometimes he comes in good, sometimes he comes in bad. That's a lose-lose
Yeah,
situation.
but no, this has got to be like I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to check BoxRec, but every time I've seen Paz Jr. fight or Pais, I don't know. Somebody told me his name is Pais. I don't know what the hell his name is, but the point is, every time I've seen him fight, he's looked very short. But Fight Doctor, what do you think about this Canelo guy? Is he a superstar or what? Almost 2.3 million.
Yeah, well, that's impressive. You know, to get 2.2 million people to watch you on a Saturday night. You know,
it was the only fight, though. There were no other fights. Only thing that was played was
impressive. It's impressive either way.
Okay.
You know, it's impressive either way. But I will say this about Canelo: this 154.5 or 155 business. That's the reason why he's having stamina issues. I don't know if you saw the weigh-in, but the guy looked like, you know, he had a foot in the grave. You know, his cheeks were drawn.
I don't know. We just had the weigh-in picture up here a few seconds ago. He doesn't look bad to me.
Well, he looked bad to me at the weigh-in.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up for the listeners.
Like he's getting away with it because of his youth. Okay, but he's gonna look. The man was gassed in the third round. That's what I saw. You know, he's gonna have to move up to 160. Okay, soon, or get knocked out, because it's coming. You know, as long as he wants to play this, you know, I'm going to be bigger than everyone else game and suck everyone else down 154 pounds, or suck myself down to 154 pounds, or wait on the Mayweather or whatever, you know, or just fight junior middleweights while I'm a full-fledged middleweight. Well, he's going to get knocked out, because he's going to run into a 154-pounder with a punch and a jab and knock his ass out. Now, I promise you that's what's going to happen, okay? You just take him past 6 rounds. That's all you got to do, okay? If Kirkland would have had some better defense, okay, and a jab, he'd have gave Alvarez some problems, okay? He'd have gave Alvarez a lot of problems. But, I mean, you know, Alvarez, he's an exciting fight. I like to watch him, but he's going to have to move up to 160 because he's a knockout waiting to happen. You know, it's not because of his skills. It's because you just can't. You know, listen, the human body, you can only go through so much, okay? And draining yourself down, that's not healthy. You know, I don't know what his habits are between fights. I don't know if he likes to party or if he's like the Bernard Hopkins type. I doubt that he's Bernard Hopkins type, you know. But if he's blowing up...
Well, first of all, what I will say is the official weight was 154.5, James. And we got to remember, that's almost off a year layoff, so... You're talking about this kid can't make weight. He's going to have to move up. Hell no. We're talking about a kid that was almost out for a year. His last fight was in July.
I don't like that excuse, though. I mean, boxing's a full-time job.
I
don't like the excuse that you didn't make weight because you were off for a year. Boxing's a full-time job. You do it, or you do it when you're not fighting.
No, first of all, it was a negotiated weight, but secondly, it was only 5 pounds, man. You got Andre Ward going up to 172 after a year.
I have issues with that too. That's what I'm saying. I never give fighters credit for taking time off.
But you still got to give some sort of leniency for the poundage, man.
Hell no. No, full-time fighter.
Half a pound, and we're going to crucify him. Half a pound, and we're going to crucify him. You guys are crazy.
I'm not crucifying him. All I'm saying is that
I'm not crucifying the guy over half a pound. I'm just
and let's keep in mind, there was no title on the line, so you're able to come in with within a pound under or over. Come on, fall back, small back.
You're justifying
what you're saying, okay? He can fight it whatever way he wants to fight at. That's fine. But what I'm saying is he looked like a dead man at the weigh-in, and he was gassed in the third round. Now, that's what I saw.
Well, I saw somebody get knocked out in the third round is what I saw.
Well, okay. Well, listen. James Kirkland don't have the best defense in the world, okay? And I recall when I called in Thursday, I told you anything could happen in this fight. Knockout, the distance, we got a knockout, okay? James Kirkland looked like he was, you know, prepared to just – his defensive strategy was to block punches with his face. You know, I mean, that's the worst defensively I've ever seen him look, and that's saying a lot, okay? But – I'm not taking anything away from Canelo. He did what he had to do, and he looked good doing it. However, the man has no stamina. His stamina is shit. Okay, he's gonna have to move up to 160 because I'm telling you, he's gonna run into a junior middle with a jab and a punch, and he's gonna put him on his ass. Okay, after about 6 rounds, he's no good.
All right.
He's gonna have to go to 160.
All right, Fight
All right,
Doctor. Let me get to some
real
other
quick,
people.
Before you cut me off, I want to concur with the previous caller about the fantasy fight show. You definitely should do that. I think that's a good idea.
That's only 2 of you guys. There's already one person in the chat said, hell no. I'm just saying.
Okay, well,
but we're keeping count. We're keeping count. We're
that's
keeping count.
2 yay votes and 1 nay vote.
Exactly, exactly. We're keeping count, and you now there's someone on the island with Milkman. Hey, let me get to some other callers in the chat. Given Quality said, he's hilarious. He said, Canelo KO'd a bum, and then he gonna say, I'll justify anything Canelo does. I just got on the Canelo bandwagon. Damn, go back a couple of years and listen to the show, man. I just started being a Canelo fan. Let me see. 646, you're up.
Hello?
646, talk to me.
Yo, what's up, Ness? How you doing? What's up, James?
What up?
And Canelo, man, that's amazing numbers doing 2.2 million pay-per-view buyers. I just think he needs to stay away from Floyd. The first matchup wasn't even competitive. I don't know. I understand, he wants to fight the best, but Floyd stylistically and skill-wise is a terrible matchup for him. Maybe in the future, I would like to see him fight either Julian Williams or Hugo Centeno Jr., man. I haven't heard from Julian Williams just got a victory, but I haven't heard anything from Hugo Centeno since that devastating KO he had over James De La Rosa. What would you guys think about Canelo possibly matching up with them in the future?
I think
he fights
Triple G. J-Rock's Heyman, right?
That's off the table because Centennial signed to Heyman.
There you go.
So Canelo
His
won't
last
get
fight was
him.
on Showtime too, so
Canelo won't get him, man. I mean, they could give Canelo De La Rosa.
Oh man. Damn, we just seen Kirkland do 360s, man. I don't think we need that, man.
Yo, I think it doesn't matter at this point, man. It doesn't matter at this point. They just got to feed the animal right now.
He's excited.
Yo, like I'm gonna stand pat and say I want Cotto next for Canelo. Then after that, bring on Gabriel Rosado or Curtis Stevens type opponent. Someone that's tough, that's been in there with a lot of people, packs a punch, and we'll see what he's got. We need to let him marinate.
Man, I would love to see Curtis Stevens versus James Kirkland.
Yo, that's a good Canelo fight, Stevens Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
They could put that on, doable. And it's sellable, or the whole, Triple G opponent thing. You know what I mean? And we still haven't gotten Rosado. We still haven't gotten Rosado Canelo. And remember, they signed Rosado. We might still get that one. Just to wet the whistle of the Puerto Rican Mexican thing. Listen, let me get to some other callers, brother.
All right, Pete.
609, you're up.
What's up, man? I want to tell you the fantasy boxing. I hate them whatever conversations.
Uh-oh.
If that
2-2, 2-2, baby.
That ball, she'd be my uncle. I mean, it's just stupid as shit. I can't stand it. I want to talk about this thing. I think what's happening here, you were talking about the 24/7s and like this whole thing.
Yeah.
This is an outdated Don King business model that we're dealing with here. And we're in a different era here. And I'm from Philadelphia. If you remember when Ed Snyder, the local Philadelphia billionaire guy, bought the Philadelphia Flyers, we used to have to subscribe to this channel called Prism, which was before HBO. You would watch movies, but he bought it to play the Flyers games. And he bought this expansion team in this new league called the NHL, and they had to get people to watch this shit. It was big in Canada, but all the people played it because it's freezing fucking cold up there, and that's how it went. The problem here in America is that, people aren't raised on boxing, and ESPN isn't talking about it, and kids aren't playing it in high school sports and getting coached on it, and everybody's rallying around and all this kind of crap. So I do agree that 24/7s are important, but if you think about it, the story is going to begin to get played out. Everybody's coming from destitute situations. Everybody's coming from the inner city. Everybody ain't got shit. Everybody's hanging out at the gyms, and it's going to be the same old. We need major sports networks. That's why I called him before and was so pissed at Teddy Atlas for just wanting to have this ghetto mentality about, how this was going to wake up. and being real pissed off at all these superstars at the Floyd fight. And, people have to start learning about boxing. MMA started getting big. Gyms started springing up. They got people are over. They got girls kickboxing and shit. That gets people excited about it. People got to get excited about boxing. You got people out there, like I follow Angela Simmons on Instagram. Chick is putting in pad work every day, putting on her thing. You got Brandy. Here's people that are singers, people that are into it. I think Hove being into boxing is cool. People start getting into this sport. They start to follow it. They start to learn it. They start to respect how tired the people get. They can start to get in that mode. And then we need this on this national TV. I think the pay-per-view platform will be there for the big main events, because that's how these people are going to get this real paper, and they need that. But everybody just can't be a pay-per-view fighter, and taking that step is going to be tough. But one thing Larry Merchant said that was true is that, boxing, nobody can fix it. Nobody can kill it. It's got a tough road ahead of it. But I think that we do need that coverage. We do need the major sports networks talking about it, because the average attention span of a person, is down very, very low. And they have to get this ingrained in their life in order for these fighters to be able to get this money. Because, I'm on Facebook, I got Eddie Chambers over there talking about he can't get paper for this and he can't get paper for that. Like, what you going to get paper for? Who's trumping it up? Who's going to pay for that crap? And then they talk about people don't know anything about boxing, all this shit. And it's like they're not going to. America is a franchise country. People like franchise restaurants. Disney World's a franchise. It's a corporate environment. People buy stock. They order a number 13 at Wendy's, and it's the same one in Los Angeles as it is in Texas, as it is in New Jersey. All UFC did was franchise that sport. People don't understand the difference between the associations. They don't know what all these different sanctioning bodies are. They don't know what it means. But, Floyd's brand is, I'm the fucking greatest. I'm the champ. He's got a 0 next to his wins. He don't give a fuck about them belts. That's why he's abandoned them. He's not going to fight somebody's mandatory unless they're selling pay-per-views. And I knew Canelo was going to sell those pay-per-views, and that was a great fight for him, because in Mexico, they all fight. The culture loves boxing, and those people bought them pay-per-views. Mexican holiday, all that kind of crap. It was a great idea, and that's what he's doing. You ain't going to see him fight an American. But I agree with the what-if scenario guy that Canelo's got to learn English if he wants to be an American superstar. But I've always loved Canelo. I think he's a beast of a fighter. I think he's a great technical guy. I love that he's a young kid. He's got a real future, but these guys got to start getting into the marketing. But, I think it's an outdated Don King business model, and, Al Heyman's trying to get it bigger. Hopefully don't make Golden Boy go broke. But it's still kind of bullshit that you can fit everybody involved in boxing into a king-size room at the Holiday Inn. There's got to be more people involved. All the major sports have got all kinds of people and players and people with money involved in it. But boxing still has to maintain that open market. There's nothing to stop somebody, from getting involved in that sport. They don't have to own a franchise. You can start fighters and do it. And I think that's one of the greatest things about boxing. And the only reason why I love it is that, you can just get in. You fight your fucking ass off, you can get the fuck in there. You might not do well, but you're going to get in. Kirkland was a garbage fight, stupid. Still wasn't going to be good. And the guy's like, if Kirkland had better defense and this and that, well, he don't. Kirkland ain't that. That ain't that boy. But I really appreciate the time, man, and a great show.
All right, brother. Man, this chat got me rolling. Yo, they said Rosado gets cut in his sleep, lacing his gloves. Oh, man. Yo, somebody said I would fly to Texas if Rosado got the Canelo fight.
Yo, see, they're clamoring for it. That's what we need to do. We need to petition for it right now, man.
Oh, man. Nothing for something is such a hater, man. 949, you're up.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Claire?
Chilling.
So, what's the topic? What are we talking about today?
What? You haven't been listening?
No, bro. I know it's the Canelo Kirkland review, I think. But with regard to that, Canelo did what he was supposed to do. Kirkland has been off for a very long time. I don't know what to take from that, except people who got excited like to see, just fighters fighting people that aren't even on their level, people who have been on a layoff. For those who are comparing this to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, those are two people at the top of their game. Of course, it's not going to come out as a brawl because those are elite competitors. So for those who expected a knockout or someone getting, dominated to a point where it stopped, that doesn't happen on the pound-for-pound list. Pound-for-pound fighters know to survive. They know how to stay 12 rounds. They know how to, just not get knocked out. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Is there anything I've missed out on the topic?
Just the fact that he pulled in close to 2.3 million views, that the actual Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was doing about 1.1, and then when Canelo came on, they shot up to 2.2, very close to 2.3 million. So it's proved that he's definitely a star.
Think of it this way: HBO has many subscribers. It's a popular network. Floyd would do those. Even just to give you a point, when Floyd moved to Showtime, his first pay-per-views weren't great. Reason being, Showtime didn't have as many subscribers, and he, that's why his pay-per-views didn't do well. However, if he did stay on HBO and he fought Robert Guerrero, it would have definitely easily done a mill. HBO just has many subscribers. It has been the leading network for the longest time, so that's why he did those numbers. I'd like to see him do those numbers on the Showtime network. And I'm not hating on the guy. He's an exciting guy to watch. He's a young player. He has a look. He has many people. He has a country behind him. So, it is what it is.
All right, brother. Well, I think he definitely knows his boxing. He said a few things that let me know he knows his boxing there. But the comparison of Canelo and Floyd, again, no one's done. Antonio Tarver, Bernard Hopkins, back in 2006, they did 2.4. So whether Floyd will or won't do what Canelo just did, I mean, that is still, yet to be seen. I mean, Floyd would have to give us a regular Showtime fight, right?
I mean, absolutely. But I mean, I understand where he's coming from, saying that there's more people that, have HBO than they do Showtime. So allows to see these 24/7s. But to me, numbers are numbers. You're pulling in faces. You're pulling in fans. You're pulling in people that want to watch this sport. So to me, again, I can't diminish this and say that if he was on Showtime, he couldn't have got that. This is the what if game. This is fantasy boxing all over again. Maybe if he was on Showtime, he would have got those numbers. Maybe it would have been bigger. Who knows? I don't know. But the numbers are the numbers. I don't care what network you're on. They were great. They're impressive. That's it.
Cool. 404, you're up.
What's going on, Ness?
What's up? Who's this?
Yeah, this GT Kid from Atlanta, man. How y'all doing tonight?
We're good. We're good. Talk to us.
Good. Yeah, hey, man, Canelo's not that impressive to me, man. I mean, he's got good power and throws combinations, but I agree with Fight Doctor, man. He fades in the late rounds, man. If you take him deep, he can't keep his face, man. He just fall off. Same thing happened with Floyd. He looked like garbage against Laura. So I mean, he's got star power. He can sell because he's Mexican. But I'm just not that impressed with him, man. I think against a real solid boxer with some power.
Nah. People got to stop that. Hold on. People got to stop that. He's not going to sell just because he's Mexican, because I don't see Abner Mares or Leo Santa Cruz or, Hugo Centeno or John Molina or a bunch of other Mexicans ain't doing this. Marquez ain't even doing this.
I guess you got a point, man. You might got a point there. I'm just not that impressed with him, though, man. If he plays a good boxer at 154 and they take him into the late rounds, they'll outpoint him. You saw what happened with Laura. I know you were pulling for Laura. Laura should have got the win if he had did a little bit more work and stopped running so much. He would have outpointed him. So I'm just not that impressed with him.
Hey, man, I feel the same way you do about that Laura and that Trout fight, but thanks for calling in. Man, you see, that's the thing, James. This is why I'm saying he's not ready. And the Cotto fight, he might could pull it off versus Cotto, but it doesn't mean he's ready for Triple G. And I think there's still some fights out there, like maybe that Lemieux fight first, man. Going Lemieux or the K9, you know, because look, why did he try to get down to 154.5? Maybe he's trying to get back down there.
Could be, but I mean, I don't know. We're going to keep going in circles again, but I again, like with you, like a lot of other people, man, I don't think that Canelo is the goods in the sense that he's going to take the throne of being, you know, pound for pound fighter of the world, but he does have that star power. And if you market that correctly, you can almost have other fighters kind of piggyback off that. Say someone does down the line get stop Canelo in middleweight. A new star is born. This is what happens. This is where the passing of the torch happens. So Canelo's good for the sport, not only for himself, not only for boxing, but he's also good for the fighters that come up behind him that are possibly there to upset him and then make a name for someone that might not have gotten it before. Look at Danny Garcia with Amir Khan. Danny Garcia lost that fight 12-1. We might not see Danny Garcia as much as we see him today, but he knocked out the favorite, and now he is who he is today. So,
yeah, I mean, I remember the days when people thought Morales was going to beat Garcia.
There you go.
469, talk to us.
KG from Dallas, man. How y'all doing?
KG, what up?
Not much, man. Hey, Ness, I got a question for you. Up to this point in their careers, who you more impressed with, Danny Garcia or Canelo?
Whoa, man, I would have to take that in. Well, okay, so you got the Trout and the Laura, and you got the Peterson and the Herrera, and then you know Salka could be Matthew Hatton, but he has no Mayweather. Garcia has no Mayweather.
I think the Matisse win still is better than any like definitive win that Canelo would have.
That makes sense too, because that was the best 140 versus the best 140, and Canelo, when he faced the best 154, he lost versus Mayweather.
See, this is the problem that I have with boxing. Canelo, I can't doubt his stardom. He is a star, and he is popular, and it's good for the sport. But see, it puts him in a position where I don't feel like he's earned, you know, to be, whereas people is going to want to see him against guys that I don't think he's ready for. Such as, like, you know, like, look at Danny Garcia. I feel like, you know, he has had some controversial wins and he has, you know, had a lot of questions. But if you base him based on his resume, he definitely deserved the Mayweather fight before Canelo did. But, you know, boxing doesn't work that way just because of the stardom. You know, he's a good fighter. I don't want to take nothing away from him, but you know, I feel like we kind of. This is another example of a hype guy, but you know, in a different sense. I feel like there's other boxers out there that have proven more than he has to this point in their career, and you know, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
You make a lot of fair points, though. There's a lot of good points in there.
No, that was a great question. In the chat, it looks like everybody's picking Garcia over Canelo's resume, though. Somebody said, what is it? Tink Twice, man, says Ness hitting that crack stick like it's weed. Chill, bruh. Yeah, man, I got to get off these. It's just impossible. What could I say? Listen, we're going to wrap it up, man. That's about it. This was just a short little, you know, wow on Canelo pulling in those numbers. And hopefully Thursday I'm going to be on point. I got to get you guys these gloves, man. I got to give away like 3 of these gloves. Well, actually, the 2 Canelo, that's already 2. It's going to be like 4 I got to give away on Thursday. So we're going to get a bunch of winners. James, any final thoughts?
Nope. Can't wait to talk boxing on Thursday. A lot of good fights. Follow me at Twitter at Jameson Rocket. Jameson with an I.
And I'm your host at NestGTO on Twitter. Later.
Thank you for